In this lecture, we shall continue with some more examples on D'Alembert's ratio test. Now, this example, examine the convergence or divergence of 1 plus 1 into 2 divided by 1 into 3 plus 1 into 2 into 3 divided by 1 into 3 into 5 plus 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 divided by 1 into 3 into 5 into 7. Now, here you have to observe the first term has one term, the second term has two terms in the numerator, two terms in the denominator. Third term has three terms in numerator, three terms in denominator, and so on. Now I have given you the explanation separately. First term in numerator is 1. In the denominator also we can take it as 1. Second term is 1 into 2 in the numerator, 1 into 3 in the denominator, and so on. So what do we say about the nth term in the numerator? So the terms in the numerator and denominator are in arithmetic progression. You can observe numerator, it is 1 into 2 into 3 into, and the nth term is going to be n. Denominator, it is 1 into 3 into 5 and so on. The nth term of that arithmetic progression is going to be 2n minus 1. So we all already know the arithmetic progression. How do you write down the nth term? It is a plus n minus 1 into d. So in that way you can work out the nth term of the denominator. So now nth term of the given positive term series will have n terms in the numerator, n terms in the denominator. So how do you write down the series? Sigma un is equal to sigma 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 up to n numerator. You have n terms in numerator and n terms in denominator 1, 3, 5.7 and so on up to 2n minus 1. So first I have written the positive term series. Next I write down the nth term of this positive term series. Next we write down the n plus 1 term of the series. So when you're writing the n plus 1 term, you have to see that you write down the nth term and the next term. So we have n and the next term is going to be n plus 1 because the common difference in the numerator is 1. And in the denominator the common difference is 2. So the nth term is 2n minus 1 and the n plus 1 is 2n plus 1. So you have to be careful while writing this un plus 1. For un plus 1 you have to write down the nth term and the n plus 1 term. Since you are going for D'Alembert's ratio test, you have to take the ratio un plus 1 divided by un. And when you go for that, all the terms up to nth term will get cancelled and what will remain is simply n plus 1 divided by 2n plus 1. Then as usual, since you are going for the limit, you have to express the terms as 1 by n. We take n common in the numerator, rewrite it. N common in the denominator, rewrite it. N gets cancelled and then take the limit as n tends to infinity. The answer what you get is 1 by 2. Now we have applied the D'Alembert's ratio test. Comparison is with 1. So what do we say? The conclusion of this, I have not written the result. You have to conclude and write. This is less than 1. So by D'Alembert's ratio test, we say the positive term series sigma un converges. Now the next example, test for convergence 1 plus 1 by 2 x plus x square by 5 plus x cubed by 10 plus and so on. So here we have the first term as 1, which is x raised to 0. Second term has x by 2, x raised to 1 by 2. Third term is x raised to 2 by 5 plus and so on. Okay, so how do you write down the nth term here? Now here you can eliminate the first term. You don't have to consider the first term. You start with the second term x by 2. So in the properties we have already mentioned earlier, addition or subtraction of terms doesn't change the nature of the series. Alright, so we just eliminate or don't consider the first term here. We just start with the x by 2 as the first term. Now if x by 2 is the first term, x raised to 2 by 5 is the second term, how do you write down the nth term? So you can just mention, to begin with this example, eliminating the first term of the series. Then write x by 2 plus x square by 5 plus x cubed by 10 plus and so on. That is equal to sigma x raised to n divided by n square plus 1. That becomes the nth term. Okay. So un is written as x raised to n divided by n square plus 1. Un plus 1 is easy. You have to replace n by n plus 1. So it becomes x raised to n plus 1 divided by n plus 1 square plus 1. We go for the ratio. And since you're going for limit as n tends to infinity, as usual, you have to go for expressing it as 1 by n form. So do it carefully here. X raised to n plus 1 is written as x raised to n into x. Then the bracket n plus 1 whole square. If you take n common there, it becomes n square common throughout, and you should express the denominator carefully. Just simplify back and see how you're going to get it. Then the second part of the numerator, n square is taken common, 1 plus 1 by n square divided by x raised to n. So x raised to n gets cancelled. So do this carefully. And when we take the limit as n tends to infinity, you'll find the value is equal to x, because 1 by n or 1 by n square becomes 0. So now we have got a variable x here. So if x is less than 1, by D'Alembert's ratio test, we say sigma un converges. If x is greater than 1, sigma un diverges. And already we have discussed while discussing the statement of D'Alembert's ratio test, it fails when x is equal to 1. So what are you going to do when x is equal to 1? So we consider x is equal to 1 in equation 1. So when we put that as equal to 1, what does sigma un become? Sigma un is equal to sigma n is equal to 1 to infinity 1 divided by n square plus 1. Un is 1 divided by n square plus 1. Now when D'Alembert's ratio test fails, we go back to the simple test. Now the simple test, we know we have to simplify un and in that try to choose Vn. We go for comparison test. So now n square is taken common, 1 plus 1 by n square. Now we choose Vn as sigma 1 by n square. We use the limit form test. We go for comparison test. This is known to you all. We have discussed in the previous videos. Sigma un and sigma Vn converges and diverges together. We can say Vn is a p series where value of p is equal to 2, which is greater than 1. Therefore sigma Vn converges, and we conclude sigma un also converges. Okay, now finally you have to put a result in this form. Sigma un converges for x less than 1. We have already found it by D'Alembert's ratio test. And for x is equal to 1 also, in the ending part we have seen it is converging. So we write sigma un is converges for x less than or equal to 1 and diverges for x greater than 1. The result should always be put in this form. There's no need of writing any test here because you have mentioned all the tests in the beginning. So this should be the conclusion part. Next example. Test for convergence, x divided by 1 into 2 plus x square divided by 2 into 3 plus x cube divided by 3 into 4 plus and so on. So here you can see the first term has got x, second term x square, third term x cubed. So n term will have x raised to n. In the denominator, first term is 1 into 2, second term is 2 into 3, third term is 3 into 4. So the n term is going to be n into n plus 1. Un is equal to x raised to n into n plus 1. Okay, in this example I have simplified un here itself in that flower bracket. You have to take n common, so it becomes n square into 1 plus 1 by n in the denominator. Un plus 1 also have written. Okay, I have mentioned the simplification. I have put all the terms as 1 by n form because you are going for D'Alembert's ratio test. If you go for D'Alembert's ratio test, you're going to get x here. you're going to just conclude like the previous example for x greater than or less than 1. Then since the ratio test fails, I'm not discussing this completely. All the steps are mentioned here, you can follow. So for x equal to 1, you have to rewrite sigma un. Then you have to go for the simple test, that is comparison test. Conclude the same way. I have kept this example incomplete. It is just like the previous example. Complete it on your own and write down the result.